Donald Sterling today, through his attorney, announced that he will once again pursue his lawsuit against the NBA and Commissioner Adam Silver and pull his support for the proposed sale for $2 billion to Steve Ballmer. He released a statement today which reads, in part, "I was brought up in America and educated to believe that every citizen has a right to privacy and right to freedom of speech. As a lawyer and citizen, I am shocked, but not surprised, that the NBA wants to take away those fundamental rights. This is the reason I will not sell my team." Let's bring in David Aldridge here from the arena in Miami. And DA, you reported today the NBA has now responded by rescheduling the Board of Governors meeting at which they were originally intended to vote to force the sale of the team once again. Where do we stand on that?
Well, let's be clear, Matt. What I reported was if Donald Sterling were to win his lawsuit, the billion-dollar lawsuit you referred to against the league would then proceed and reinstate the termination hearing that it was originally scheduled for last month, or for this month, last week, I should say. And the league canceled that when the sale from Shelley Sterling to Steve Ballmer for $2 billion was consummated and announced. The league gave its approval, and as one of the conditions withdrew its lawsuit. It will reinstate that lawsuit if Donald Sterling is successful in his lawsuit against the league and Adam Silver.
Okay, fair enough. Shelley Sterling is headed to court tomorrow. What is she hoping to achieve?
She's going to probate court in Los Angeles tomorrow morning at 8:30. Basically, what they're trying to get is an expedited hearing. They just want the judge to affirm that Shelley Sterling acted properly. She did everything legally when she, through the physicians that examined Donald Sterling, determined that Donald Sterling was no longer mentally capable of being a co-trustee of the Sterling Family Trust. The trust owns the Clippers. There's only two trustees, Donald Sterling and Shelley Sterling. If Donald Sterling isn't capable of handling his responsibilities as a co-trustee, Shelley Sterling's the only trustee. That gives her the authority to sell the team. That's the basis on which she sold the team to Steve Ballmer, and that's what the league accepted.
All right, David, appreciate it. The tangled web continues out there in Los Angeles. And recall, as part of that sale agreement, Shelley Sterling agreed to indemnify, that was the word we heard over and over again, indemnify the NBA against any potential lawsuits, which we were led to believe as legal laymen that Donald Sterling would effectively be suing himself via his wife. It's tangled. It's a mess, and it continues.
It does. I mean, this is something I look at with Donald Sterling and against the league. It's going to be a long process. I know everybody wants to expedite this, but I think this is going to be a very, very long process.
Well, the bottom line is Donald Sterling has to go. I think Adam Silver has done a fantastic job. I think the Clippers did as well as they could under the circumstances. But, Matt, for us as players, we're not going to play if Donald Sterling still owns the Clippers. I mean, I think that's the bottom line. We would hate to boycott or not start the season on time, but if Donald Sterling still owns the Clippers, it's not the players. I know for a fact, talking to several of them, they're not going to play, and I 100% agree with that.
Think it'll ever get to that?
I don't know. I mean, it's funny to me. Obviously the guy doesn't want to sell. You have from $2 billion, which is way over the value of the Clippers. He says no. So I agree with Steve. It's going to be a long fight, but who owns the damn team, man? Him or Miss Shelley? I mean, I don't even know who owns the team. Does he own the team? She own the team? 1 minute I read she owns it. It's sold. No, he owns the team.
They own the team. He was the sole representative of the team in terms of Board of Governors meetings and that sort of thing.
I also agree with Chuck. He needs to go.
Totally agree with Chuck.
Let's talk Derek Fisher.
Well, we're going to get to that.
Totally agree with Chuck. He has to go.
He has to go, plain and simple.
Yeah, I'm in accordance. There's my vote.